History often remembers kings, generals, and conquerors. But hidden between the pages of time are women whose revenge was so devastating, it reshaped empires, erased enemies, and terrified nations. These were not impulsive acts of anger. They were calculated, patient, unforgiving. Today, we tell the story of 5 women who suffered betrayal, humiliation, and loss, and answered it with revenge that echoed through history. This is not a celebration of cruelty. This is a warning about underestimating power, especially when it belongs to a woman with nothing left to lose. 1. Olga of Kiev, the widow who burned a nation. In the year 945, in the lands of Eastern Europe, Princess Olga of Kiev was a young widow. Her husband, Prince Igor, ruler of the Kievan Rus, had been brutally killed by the Drevlians, a rival tribe. They captured him, tied him to bent trees, and tore him apart. Olga was left alone, a woman ruling a kingdom in a world that believed women could not rule at all. The Drevlians made a fatal mistake. They assumed grief meant weakness. Shortly after Igor's death, Drevlian envoys arrived in Kiev with an offer. Olga should marry their prince, and peace would follow. Olga smiled, and accepted. She invited the envoys to be honored as guests. A trench was secretly dug beneath their meeting place. When the time came, Olga ordered her men to bury the envoys alive, still inside their boat. As soil fell over their screams, Olga leaned forward and asked calmly, "Do you find this honor to your taste?" But she wasn't finished. She sent word to the Drevlians requesting more noblemen to escort her for the wedding. When they arrived, she welcomed them with a bath, a sign of hospitality. Once inside the bathhouse, the doors were sealed. The building was set on fire. Not one survived. Still, the Drevlians did not understand what was coming. Olga traveled to their capital, claiming she wished to honor her husband's grave. At a memorial feast, she encouraged the Drevlians to drink heavily. When they were helpless, Olga gave a single command. Her soldiers slaughtered thousands. Finally, she laid siege to their city. Unable to breach its walls, she offered mercy, asking only for 3 birds from each household. The desperate citizens agreed. Olga's soldiers tied burning sulfur to the birds and released them. The birds flew home. The city burned from the inside out. By dawn, the Drevlians no longer existed as a people. Olga ruled for decades afterward, and history remembers her not as a monster, but as a saint. 2. Wu Zetian, the empress who destroyed her enemies with power. In ancient China, women were never meant to rule. Wu Zetian did more than rule. She became the only female emperor in Chinese history. Her rise began in humiliation. She entered the imperial palace as a concubine, expendable, powerless, disposable. When the emperor died, tradition demanded she be sent to a convent for life. But Wu refused to disappear. She returned to the palace and became the concubine of the new emperor, a move that enraged rivals who saw her as a threat. Soon after, Wu's infant daughter died under mysterious circumstances. Wu accused the empress. Whether true or not, the accusation worked. The empress was deposed, imprisoned, and later died violently. Wu Zetian had learned a lesson. In a corrupt system, survival required ruthlessness. When she finally took the throne, she unleashed revenge through law. She created a secret police force. Officials who once mocked her vanished overnight. False accusers were punished publicly. Entire families of conspirators were erased from records. But Wu was not driven by chaos. She reformed education, promoted merit over nobility, and elevated women. Those who were loyal prospered. Those who betrayed her did not survive her reign. Wu Zetian ruled China with absolute authority. Her revenge was not loud or emotional. It was systematic, and it lasted longer than any blade. 3. Boudica, the queen who burned Roman Britain. When the Romans conquered Britain, they believed the local tribes were weak. They were wrong. Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe, had lived in uneasy peace with Rome, until Roman officials betrayed her. After her husband's death, Roman soldiers flogged Boudica publicly. Her daughters were assaulted. Her lands were seized. Rome expected silence. They got war. Boudica raised a massive army of tribes united by rage. She stood before them, tall, fierce, her hair like fire, and spoke not as a queen, but as a mother. The rebellion exploded. Roman cities fell one by one. Camulodunum burned. Londinium was destroyed. Thousands of Romans were killed or fled in terror. For a moment, the Roman Empire trembled. Boudica had done the unthinkable. She made Rome afraid. Eventually, Roman legions regrouped and defeated her army. Rather than be captured, Boudica chose death on her own terms. Rome reclaimed Britain, but never forgot her name. To this day, she stands as a symbol of revenge fueled by dignity and defiance. 4. Cleopatra, the queen who played the long game. Cleopatra is often remembered for romance, but her true weapon was revenge through intelligence. When her brother betrayed her and forced her into exile, Cleopatra did not fight with armies. She waited. She aligned herself with Julius Caesar, returned to Egypt, and reclaimed her throne. Her brother drowned while fleeing battle. Later, after Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra allied with Mark Antony. Together, they challenged Rome itself. But Rome betrayed her again. Octavian declared war, painting Cleopatra as a seductress and enemy of the state. When defeat became inevitable, Cleopatra refused humiliation. She ended her life on her own terms, denying Rome the triumph of parading her as a captive. Octavian won the war, but Cleopatra won something else: immortality. Rome erased her kingdom, but could never erase her legacy. 5. Queen Ranavalona I, the queen who ruled through fear. In 19th-century Madagascar, Queen Ranavalona I rose to power after her husband's death. Those who opposed her claim were eliminated quickly. Ranavalona believed betrayal was contagious, so she ruled with absolute terror. Foreign influence was purged, Christian converts were hunted, political rivals vanished. Her revenge was preventative. She did not wait for enemies to strike. She struck first. Her reign lasted over 30 years, a testament to the power of fear as a weapon. History debates whether she was a tyrant or protector. But no one doubts this. No one dared betray her twice. These women were not born monsters. They were shaped by betrayal, violence, and systems designed to crush them. Their revenge was not always just, but it was never weak. History often asks whether power corrupts, but sometimes power simply reveals. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's darkest acts of revenge, like the video, subscribe for more cinematic stories, and tell us in the comments. Which story shocked you the most?